Hi, it's Tina Hamilton with MyHR Partner, representing EO Philadelphia. And today I have a very special guest, one of my favorite people in EO, Brian Lipstein with Henry A. Davidsen Tailors. But there's a longer name. I want to make sure I don't mess it up. So I'm going to let Brian tell you the longer name.
Absolutely. Yeah. Thanks for having me, Tina. So
It's great to have you.
full name of the business is Henry A. Davidsen Master Tailors and Image Consultants.
Okay. Glad you said that. And so, since this is on video, you can see Brian's always a great dressed person representing his business well. But tell us about, because I think it's really fascinating when I first met you that you have this industry. You don't meet a lot of people that are in this type of industry for some reason. I'm not sure why, but I'm curious about that. Like what made you start it and what was the desire to start this type of business? And then how did you evolve?
Sure. So I like to say I was young, naive, and stupid when I started the business. I was actually still in my undergraduate career, finishing my undergrad degree at the University of Pennsylvania.
Oh.
Penn offers any student that's enrolled, whether they're undergrad or grad, a program called the Venture Initiation Program.
Oh.
And it's essentially an incubator for any student that has an idea to actively work on building a business while they're enrolled in school.
I did not know that.
Yeah. And
That's
so
a great benefit.
it's amazing. And when I applied to it and got accepted, almost everybody that applied was being accepted because they had about 10 to 15 applications a year.
No kidding.
Yeah. And so
What were you going to school for?
I was at the College of Arts and Sciences for economics. And
Okay.
I did my minor in urban studies, which actually I would have majored in had I found it sooner, because I found it more fascinating as cross-disciplinary. We covered things like city planning and history, as well as economics and sociology, and just a lot of different interacting disciplines as opposed to economics. But majoring in economics gave me, I think, a good foundation to appreciate the other things that came beside it as well. And then, of course, the background to understand and think in an analytical way to start this business.
What a benefit to have as a business owner to really, I think most of us don't really understand economics.
And I'll tell you, I use a fraction of it.
Oh, is that right?
As most people say about their college degree,
Yeah.
right? But a lot of what I've learned has been since starting the business, since joining groups like EO, surrounding myself with other leaders, learning from them. And it's something I really enjoy is giving back what others have helped me to learn and grow from their mistakes. And I like to share my mistakes for others that are up and coming so that they can avoid them. And one of my forum mates actually says something all the time that I think about from a leadership perspective. Said, good leaders create and develop other leaders. So when I think about my employees, if I'm really being a good leader to them, I'm coaching them how to be a better leader themselves.
Right.
And that translates across my business, but it translates across their friendships, their family, their relationships as well. So
100%. That's a huge benefit. So you're in school, you join this program. What a benefit. My gosh. 10 to 15 people are in it. You're one of them.
Yeah. And so the first really joined that program. I had worked my way through school to be a part-time student my final semester.
Oh, okay.
And the way it was lining up before this opportunity came along was for me to have 6-day weekends interrupted by a 3-hour class that I was taking pass fail. And I kind of said, I can do better than be a bum for an entire semester. There's an opportunity to start something. And I jumped on the opportunity, and being accepted to that program really started developing and building the business just a couple days a week throughout the time I had available, but while I still had resources of the university to leverage. So I ended up graduating 4 or 5 months after the idea came around, and had a revenue producing business when I graduated my undergrad.
What made you choose men's clothing?
So I had been through an experience with a tailor that I was really looking for more guidance on, and realized that tailors are not great at guiding for designing around me and the purpose I wanted the suit for. At the same time, I had a lot of curiosity, so I asked a lot of questions because I knew nothing about suits when I purchased my first
Why
one.
would you? Right.
And so I said, well, why are suits so expensive and what goes into it? And this was a third generation master tailor, and he was kind enough to give me a little bit of an education on how suits are made. And that also sparked kind of a light bulb of, hey, nobody's out there teaching. And I looked at the influence I had. So I looked at my father, who hated wearing suits, but he bought the cheapest suits he could buy and he never got them altered to fit him. So no wonder why he didn't enjoy them. And then here I got a nice expensive suit for the first one I ever had bought.
Okay.
And I wasn't paying the full price for it. So that's where the curiosity came in of, I was afforded this opportunity and was curious, well, the normal people that go through this process, what is it and why do they pay that? And essentially what came out of it is I realized, and we teach this in our business, but I realized that most people look at suits and they think of them like a bunch of bananas. It's, they think, they see the skin, right?
Yeah.
And patterns and colors are different, but essentially they all look very similar. If you were to peel that banana peel back, in our mind, we think, oh, these are all the same. But if you were to cut open suits at various different price points, you actually would find that you'd have apples and oranges and carrots hiding inside that banana skin. So there's this whole extra layer of complexity to a garment that nobody talks about. And if they talk about it, it generally goes over your head because you can't see it, feel it, and touch it. And so I saw an opportunity to educate from that standpoint first, which is essentially understanding the foundation you're building on top of. And then once you understand you're not looking at the same thing, you understand why the price point's different. And then you understand the other components that go into it. And so our process is really built around consulting first, educating second, and designing last. Whereas most tailors jump right into design and they say, I can make you anything you want. You just tell me. But most people don't know what they
Don't
want.
know what they even should have or want.
And they don't know what's right for them. And so
right. So you're asking somebody, it's right. So tell me about, I don't understand the fruit analogy. Tell me about that. What does it mean?
it just means from the outside, they look the same and people
Okay.
don't think below the layer of the skin. Right. And so
Okay.
if you're not educated on it, you just assume that they're all the same. And that
Okay.
maybe the price difference comes because you're the name label that's in it.
Right.
But they're actually made completely differently. They just finish looking the same.
Okay.
Right. So if you were to peel that skin back, what you think is inside would be different
I see.
among the
That's
different.
the apples and pears.
Correct. Yeah. So you're not comparing apples to apples, you're comparing apples to oranges.
So for the sake of people listening to us, in real brief, so we don't spend too much time on it, what is it? Like, what is it that people don't know? Or is there a way to answer that briefly? I don't know.
The best way to answer that is if you're curious, call me
Got it.
because there's a lot of complexity to it, but that is part of what we teach.
Okay.
And it comes down to an element called the canvas inside the jacket. And canvassing is a whole element. There's different ways to do it. When I say canvas, and I say call me because until you can see it, feel it, and touch it, which we've cut apart jackets so that people can actually see and feel and touch
No
it
kidding.
at the cheap end and the expensive end. But I could talk about it and it would kind of go over your head. When I say canvas to most people, they're like, well, where am I painting? Right? They think of a easel and a canvas that somebody
Right.
can paint on. But in the case of suits, canvas is a liner that provides some structure and body to the garment.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it is kind of like a canvas because you're creating what you want to look like, right? What you want to come across like. Is that what?
Kind of. It's
Okay.
It's there to give body and structure to the fabric so that it creates drape and moldability over the
Oh.
body. So in
Okay.
a way, yes, but there's different ways of doing it. It can be glued into the garment, it can be sewn into the garment, and then
Mm-hmm. I
there's
see.
hybrids that can come across.
I think I was thinking more of like, if I'm going to somebody like you and going to invest in a suit, because it's an investment, right?
Absolutely.
It's about what I want to come across like otherwise, right? Like,
So that would be that would be more the design level of it.
I see.
So the
Mhm.
canvas is more construction.
I see. Got it.
Fabric and design come in how we choose pockets and buttons and lapel style and shape and
Okay.
width and all that. So that comes in the design. That can be done no matter what type of canvas goes into
Right.
the garment. Yeah.
But that's probably what people are thinking. I imagine they're thinking
little
about
bit.
what do I want to look like?
Yeah. But most people just aren't educated.
Yeah.
As I wasn't. And that's where I saw that opportunity.
So good.
And I go back, I mentioned my father had not bought nice clothes, and because he thought they were all the same. So once I educated him, he was my test subject, and I said, if I can get him to believe in this, and we gave him the education, and he said, I'll try one, and he put it on, and he actually felt comfortable in it for the first time, and he enjoyed it, and he's retired and has he's got the best wardrobe he's ever had. But he also enjoys, it's not such a chore anymore, because he can get exactly what he's looking for. He doesn't have to go rifling through racks. He doesn't have to deal with a salesman who's pushy.
Right.
It fits him perfectly. It's designed exactly the way he wants. And you don't have to search for that design in 4 or 5 different stores,
Absolutely.
potentially maybe never finding it. So,
I mean, I can only speak from a women's perspective because I'm a woman, but I can't tell you, I know that a lot of women will agree to this, how many things I bought, hung up, and they still have the price tag on them because they don't actually look like I thought they looked like once I got home.
yep. Yeah. That or a sale item. So
Oh, yes.
another favorite saying is the most expensive piece of clothing in your closet is probably the one you bought on sale. Because people mostly think about, well, what did it cost me to buy? They don't think about value when it comes to the clothing.
Yeah.
And the value is really cost per wearing. So if something costs
That's a good
$100 and you wear it 20 times, it really costs you $5 per wear. But if you bought something that was originally $100 and you bought it for 20 and you wore it 0 times, that cost you $20. So which one actually was
Right.
more expensive in that case?
That's a good point.
Right. And so the reason that saying kind of clicks is because a sale purchase is usually an emotional purchase of, oh, it's too good to pass up, but it's not the right thing. And so when it's not the right thing, it just hangs there with the tags on it and you actually get 0 use out of it. So it was a waste of whatever you spent on
I
it.
need you to start designing women things. That's all there is to it.
One day.
Maybe one day. So tell me about, so back to you get out of college, you're kicking off your business because you started it in that program.
Correct. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So graduated college, had revenue, producing in the business, made a decision I was going to spend 1 more year focused on it, see
Okay.
where it can go. And if things aren't working out by that year, I would go find a normal job.
Okay.
And so year goes by, things continue to grow. It was progressing. And here we are 20 years later.
20 years.
And we are now really focused on scaling the business as opposed to just growing. And I've recently made the differentiation between what those methodologies are. And EO has gotten me to the point of understanding myself and my business and having structure in my business to the point that we can now focus on what our leverage points are to scale the business as opposed to just continue to grow linearly.
And you told me this last night, but tell me again, tell the audience, what is scaling versus growing? Because I had not realized they were 2 different things.
Yeah, so growth is linear. It's typically 1 to 2x year over year. That would be great growth, or maybe it's anywhere from 15 to 30% growth,
Sure.
which most people would be very happy with.
Right.
But typically, as you grow top line revenue in that sense, your expenses grow proportionate to the revenue as well. So your profit is never really maximizing what it could be. Scale, you're looking to 10x to 100x your business in 3 years or less. And as you do that, you're looking at different pathways to get there, where the expenses don't grow as fast as the revenue, and therefore you can harvest more profit, more value from the business. And many of the companies we would call unicorns figured out a way to scale as opposed to just grow, right? And that's what makes them unicorns. Now, I'm not a unicorn. I'm already 20 years in business.
Right.
But I am working on, I think, a few leverage points that are unique to us and the 20 years of experience of the way we've set things up that I think we can hit that scale point. And we have an aggressive goal to grow a program 10x in 7 months since I started in
Wow.
scaling.com. So,
And I think, even though you called yourself not a unicorn, I think growing to 20 years, first of all, you're in the 1% that you've made it 20 years and made it successfully in 20 years. That's a big deal, not to be ignored. But now I feel like seems like a comfortable time to do the scaling versus right at the beginning where you don't really know your business that well yet.
correct.
Now you're comfortable. And if for whatever reason, I'm sure you'll be extremely successful, but if you weren't, you can go back to this. You have it, like it's serving you.
Yeah.
Right?
And we've been growing. So we'll we'll likely,
The risk is less, is what I'm saying.
yeah,
Right? At the
well,
beginning, you're trying to just make money, like just survive.
well, you're just
right?
trying to survive.
Right, right.
We could talk about that all day
Yeah.
long. The trials, tribulations, and struggle, and sleepless nights, and ideas, and
And you've
how
had
am I
them, right?
paying my rent, and paying rent a month late, and even a $75 utility bill of, okay, how far can I stretch the cash before I have to part with it to pay that bill? I've had all of that, and I've had it through the 2008 downturn. I've had it through the COVID downturn.
Right.
So
Oh, COVID must have been tough on you.
we were off about 40 to 45% from
Ooh.
2019 to 2020.
Oh.
Yeah.
How did
And
you survive that?
we're lean. I mean,
Yeah.
thankfully, our business model doesn't incur a lot of overhead.
Okay.
And so we were forced closed for 3 months. I never had an employee miss a paycheck.
That's amazing.
They were slightly decreased maybe here and there while we survived, but I kept them busy. They kept value to the company. So even though we couldn't work in our space, I would have them come every week and pick up a portable drawer of our file folders and just call our customers and check in on them and say, hey, we know these are weird times. Are you okay? Right? That's all
That
we
was
asked them.
smart.
We didn't
was
ask,
smart.
do you want to buy clothes now?
Because they're all in pajamas
We knew
sitting
the
at
answer.
home, right?
Yeah, we knew the answer to that. Nobody knew what was
Right.
going on. Half our clients had businesses that were struggling, and
Right.
they didn't know what was going to happen. So we just said, "Are you okay?" And we used that to actually build the CRM system, because we maybe added a CRM a few years before, and some
Yes.
information was in there and some wasn't.
Sure.
There were a lot of gaps and holes. So I said, well, all right, well, you call people, also then put their information into the CRM. And that's what my team did for 3 months. And it gave me the headspace to sit and actually work on foundational elements of the business that I always knew I wanted, but never made the time to work on. So in that time, I fleshed out my core values. We started fleshing out a more clear mission and direction that the company wanted to go. We started, I guess EOS came later, but I was in scaling up with EOA. So I was in the accelerator program at the time.
Oh, right.
And working on the elements of the 4 pillars in scaling up without having to worry, who do I have to deliver today, right? Whose
Right.
garment needs to be shifted around in our tailor shop so the finishing can be done on time, and who's
Yeah.
calling me out of the blue saying, hey, I'm in the city, can I pick my stuff up?
Right.
And all the fires that come up any given day. But
Yeah.
we did that, and then the rest of my job was researching every single piece of help that was out there. So all the PPP, the ERTC credits. We
Right.
got a grant from the state of Pennsylvania that we qualified for.
Oh, no kidding.
And so actually, when coming out of COVID, we were in the strongest cash position we've ever had.
That's crazy.
And it allowed us
Right.
to then invest in EOS, and we hired an implementer.
Oh,
And
wonderful.
I faced a decision of, well, I could sit on a nice little cushion for rainy day fun, and we
Sure.
could keep going the way we are, or we can make this investment in a system that I believe in and my employees believed in, and we chose to make that investment. And it hurt for a little bit, but then,
Yes.
as they say, traction catches. And,
Yes.
over the last, from the beginning of 2024, we have a potential to double our revenue from
That's incredible.
24 to the end of 26.
That's incredible.
Yeah, it's been fun. And it's been awesome to watch my employees grow. I've watched them mature and take on more and more responsibility, figure out how to do more in less time. And we've done that. That growth has happened, and my team hasn't changed. So we haven't added
amazing.
people, and we're achieving that growth. So
Because you're adding people now.
well,
You
now
said you're
we have a
interviewing,
leverage
yeah?
point we want to scale. So now
Yeah.
we're adding people.
In order to scale.
Yeah, to get ready for that.
So we're running up on time. So where you headed? I know the 10 time you're scaling.
Yep.
That's the big thing.
Yeah.
That's huge.
So trying to shift my business model into that scalable model, and it's something that I'm protecting a little bit, because I do see an opportunity to, if it works for me, create a program to then sell to my industry with it as well.
Oh, wonderful.
And if it's a win-win. So I want to help. If it worked that well for me, I can go help others that haven't discovered it yet, that are in my industry, and we can grow the whole industry overall. and I could have a small piece of what they build in that. And that's all I need to make it worthwhile. So
That's amazing.
it's something that I see there's real power in, and that's
Sounds gratifying too.
it will be. Yeah, it will be. So, but continuing to serve, I'm currently the president of the Custom Tailors and Designers Association.
Oh, I did not know that.
So that is our tailoring trade organization.
Okay.
And a little fun fact about that, it's the oldest continually active trade association in the United States.
Did not know that.
Goes all the way back to sometime in the 1870s range. And I have a list of every president who's run the association from that time to today. And so I'm now president of that for the next year and a half.
It's exciting.
And then I serve on our EO Philadelphia board, and I could see taking on other leadership roles from the one I have now once I have one leadership role to be in.
Yeah, right. You don't want too many at once, right? Because you still got to do that scaling thing, right?
Correct. Yep. But it's fun, right? It's one of the things I'm learning is the scaling.com is based off the book, The Science of Scaling. Their follow-up book is called Time as a Tool. And one of the things that stuck out from that I just continually have in my mind is, how do you slow time down? And that's something they talk about in there. And because time is all relative, it's all relative to what you accomplish within a certain window. So if you can accomplish twice as much as somebody else does, the time feels twice as slow to you as it does to them. And so with that in mind, it's okay, rather than me do it, how can I leverage somebody in my network, a piece of technology, right? How do I make sure I'm working on my highest and best use of my time only, so that I can go farther, faster, and everything else that can be delegated, somebody else can handle along the way. And that it's incredible thinking that way. Some of the weeks I've had since learning that concept, it feels like I get to Monday and the previous Monday feels like it was 2 months ago, but it was only a week. So I really slowed time down because I accomplished so much within a week. And then I reflect on that, and it's like, yeah, I got time to breathe, which is nice, because a lot of entrepreneurs don't feel like they have the time to breathe.
Absolutely. Or they don't make the time, or whatever, don't know how to even make the time.
Yeah. And I've been there. I know what that feels like. So
Yeah.
this is it's a breath of fresh air. It's exciting. And it's got me energized because I know that there's going to be really high impact, not just for me, but the employees, the company, the trajectory we want to be on.
It's amazing.
And then potentially for my industry. And I'm excited to pioneer something in my industry that nobody else that I know of is really undertaking. So,
well, Brian, hopefully maybe we can bring you back next year, 1 year from now, when we're taping, whatever next segment, and see how that's worked out. Because it'd be great to have a follow-up on that if we can make that work.
I think I can make that work.
Yeah. All right. Well,
if I'm not traveling the world, which is my other passion.
Absolutely. Well, I'll just have to meet you out wherever you are in the world. That's all, because that's also my passion.
Let's film this on a sailboat.
I'm down.
Yeah.
What do you say? Yep. Okay. We're all in. We're all in. Thank you so much, Brian. It's such an interesting story. I feel like I could talk to you for hours about this. Seriously.
Well,
Thank you.
Let's keep talking. Well, this is part one. Make sure you tune in next week for part two. And we'll get to the other side of Brian Lipstein on that. So,
all right. All right. Thank you so much. This was great.